Let's see here. We are live. I do believe. I'm alive. We are alive. And we survived. Hey, Cheryl. Didn't take you long at all to get in here. It's like, okay, do I go outside and do a little bit of work in the bright, sunny, warm weather? Or do I go live, because I didn't go live last week and we've kind of like had a rather eventful week. So I was like, what do I do? I figured, you know what? Even if it's just for a short period of time, I'll go live. Okay. So Cheryl, did you stay warm this week? Because I think it was cold everywhere. Everywhere except for Florida. I hear Florida did not get the cold weather. And maybe California. Oh, well, good for you. Good for you. I'll tell you, it was a little rough. And we got down not as cold as some other people. I hear that south of here, busy shoveling snow kept me warm. That would do it. That would definitely do it. We did not have enough snow here to warrant shoveling. So I think we had like maybe all totaled maybe 2 inches. 3 at the absolute most. It really wasn't that much snow. But what caused some problems for us is the 1/2 inch of ice. Everything was coated in ice. It started Sunday night and it went all day Monday. And by Monday evening, we had no power. We were in the dark. Okay. Well, okay, I've got the kerosene heater. Okay. I've got candles. Okay. I have a propane lantern and I had 1 bottle of propane on it, and I had a brand new bottle of propane. Okay. We had quilts. Well, I've got a quilt. We got plenty of blankets. Okay, we had bottles of water, some. Not as much as I would have liked, but we had some. Well, that would have been fine. But we were without power for 4 days. And it's like, okay, I've been through power outages before. We had one up in New Jersey that was 5 days. Okay, of course it wasn't as cold. But, you know, we managed. We survived. This time, the temperatures got so cold it was down into the almost single digits. I think the coldest it got was 10 degrees. But of course, they say it feels like. Well, I don't know what it feels like, except it feels cold. So, I know everybody on YouTube is talking about the cold and the snow and ice and power outages. It's like, who hasn't been experiencing it? Okay, like I said, I think Florida got in the clear, maybe California, but as far as I know, the rest of the country had some variant of this cold weather that everybody's been going through. And Texas and Oklahoma, it's been bad. And I hear that Oklahoma even had an earthquake this morning. Was it this morning? I have a propane fireplace, good for you, back up. But didn't need to use it. Even with ice, we never lost power. Oh, well, I am very glad to hear that you did not lose power. This is the first time we lost power for so long here. And honestly, even here, we were not as bad as some others. Northwest of here, I hear it was a war zone. Power poles were down, trees were down. I haven't been up that way yet. But it really wasn't that bad. We did have a tree across our road, and I simply I called my my neighbor because the tree that was across the road was too big for my chainsaw. I knew there was no point in even trying it. Does that mean you were totally off grid living? Yeah, right. Yep, I guess we were. Yeah, my neighbor had to come and cut the tree off the road and cleared us away, and I'm ever so grateful for him doing that. Oh man, I wish I could do something good for him. I really do, but I don't know what. Yeah. We were fine, and of course, I had also bought my two guys headlamps for Christmas this last year. So we all had headlamps, so we were good. My son had found the charger for our rechargeable flashlight, and he charged that in the truck. We kept our phones charged from the truck. So it was Monday. We lost power. Tuesday, we didn't go anywhere. Well, we couldn't because there was a tree blocking our road. I tried to get out later in the day, and it was like there was no way. So that's when I called my neighbor, and he came, up eventually. And I told him there was no huge hurry, just if he had the time to. Where is everyone? I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they don't have power and they don't have internet. I can tell you one thing. I checked the power company's website this morning, and there was still quite a few people in their service area that were without power. So I know it's still possible. So I know that I've been playing catch up with some of the channels that I watch, and I know I've missed some, and I've missed even the ones I did watch them. I know I missed some of their videos. It's like, what are you gonna do? There's only so many hours in a day, and I do have things I got to take care of. One thing I'll tell you, the biggest concern was water. Not so much for us, because we can buy bottled water. We went to town on Wednesday, and we went to Walmart and got water. So for us, to drink and whatnot. There was also a truck stop about a half hour away or so. Went and had a shower. Oh, that felt good. Have a hot shower. This was Wednesday. We're doing all this, getting some supplies and whatnot on Wednesday, because we had another system that was supposed to be coming in on Thursday. So we had our chance on Wednesday to get out and get what we needed, because we weren't sure how this new system was going to affect us come Thursday. Thankfully, it was not as bad as what they were saying it could be. So, we got a little bit of additional precipitation, but not a lot, thankfully. So, because I know the linemen were out working in really hazardous conditions. So, me and you, yeah, okay, that's all right. We'll have a conversation. They'll catch up later if they have a chance to. It is what it is. That's okay. So anyway, yeah, so we got out Wednesday and did what we do. We bought water for us. Now, oh, my husband's heater just kicked on. I said, what is that noise? Oh, Brandon's Outdoor Adventure showed up. Oh, hi, Brandon. Yeah, we survived. We survived. But I'll tell you, it was Monday. I was just telling Shell, Monday we lost power Monday night. Okay. And that was fine. Tuesday, we were here. We didn't go anywhere. We tried to go out. Tree was blocking the road, and we live on a dead end road, so there was no other way out. Called my neighbor, and he had a chainsaw that could handle it. My chainsaw was too small to handle that tree. So, he did get us out. If he hadn't been able to, I would have been calling the fire department or somebody, just to let them know, said, okay, we're good, but, this tree is here and we can't get out. But I had different connections. Well, Tuesday morning, I got a phone call from one of my Amish friends. And he was just kind of checking to see how we were doing and if we were able to get out. And at that time, I did not know about the tree across the driveway. And I told him that, we were okay, a little bit chilly because the temperatures were low enough to where my small kerosene heater was not doing what needed to be done. It just didn't have the power to heat this place. It was keeping us above freezing. And at that time, I did not know how bad the conditions were out and about. And he had offered to hook up his horse and buggy and bring me his large kerosene heater that he wasn't using. And I said, look, I don't know how bad things are out there. I don't want you killing yourself we're staying above freezing. We're okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Someone's Princess. Hi. Yeah, that's with us too. We lost power for 4 days. So when we were able to get out Wednesday, one of the first things I did was I stopped by his place and I borrowed his large kerosene heater. Now, it was an older one, and the wick was, let's just say, is definitely not brand new. Okay, but it did the job. It was a much larger kerosene heater than what we had. So between that one and my little one, we were comfortable. Okay. A winter weather advisory just went up for us. Oh, you're kidding. Another 4 to 7 inches. Turn up the shoveling up again. Oh my. Well, hopefully you don't have to shovel too far. Yeah, I did hear that some parts of the country were getting another winter storm. I think that's north of here. Northeast, I believe. I think I saw. Oh man, I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for spring. I really am. Oh, so we stopped and picked up the kerosene heater. We went to town. Like I said, I took a shower at the truck stop, and we had breakfast there. And we hit Walmart. We were trying to find a battery-powered radio. We couldn't find one. They didn't have one at Walmart. We checked the dollar stores. Did we check? I called around. No one knew where they could get a battery-powered radio. We had one years ago, but I think it died. You can't buy. I can't buy propane or kerosene here. Oh my, that's rough. Yes. Well, I'll tell you, when we went in town on Wednesday, we stopped at Tractor Supply because I figured, okay, we had 2 cans to get kerosene with, but with the weather the way it was, I wasn't sure that was going to be enough. So I figured, okay, well, hopefully we can get another can of kerosene in Tractor Supply. I'm hoping they had enough foresight to order extra. No, that's not the way Tractor Supply operates. We get there, and the first sign on right in the front door of Tractor Supply, it said, we have no generators, no heaters, and no kerosene. They still had propane in the back. As far as I know, they were still filling propane bottles. So spring, yeah, I'm ready, more than ready. I think all the critters are too. So I said, great. Well, if we can't get another full can of kerosene, maybe we can get a jug for putting kerosene in. So we would have 3 containers, 3 5-gallon containers. Well, my husband went that way, and I wanted to get some cracked corn because I wasn't sure if my feed guy was going to be able to make it to delivery. So, and I haven't heard back from him, so I'm glad I stopped and got the cracked corn. But anyway, so he went that way, and he says he didn't find any. And I went that way, and lo and behold, on a stack of animal feed, on top was a kerosene jug. Why it was there, I don't know. Somebody, I guess, was going to get it and decided not to. I grabbed it. I put it in the cart. Okay? So we got the empty jug. So when we went to Walmart, I concentrated on getting some things that did not require cooking, that all we had to do was warm up. So we got a whole bunch of Campbell's Chunky soups. Okay. Just because they can be, they can easily be warmed up and I don't have to cook them. Because everything I had here at home, I had food, but it required cooking. Some prep work. Well, my water was limited because everything was frozen. All the rain barrels are frozen. And as you know, I don't have running water yet. Everything is on rain barrels. So we couldn't get the water. It was there. It was just frozen solid. So, okay, we got drinking water. We got the food that didn't require preparation. We got a jug of kerosene. Thankfully, we were able to get I was afraid. I know 2 places in my area that sell kerosene in bulk. Okay. And the one is like 50 cents more per gallon than the other. So we went to where we usually go. I guess there's a lot of people around here that use kerosene for heating. So they had kerosene still. So we filled up. We had 1 empty can and plus the jug that we had just bought. So we filled up both those jugs with kerosene. I had the large kerosene heater, so we were good when it comes to heat. Now, what about water for the livestock? This was the fun part, or not so much fun. Obviously, the plumbing, because we lost power, the heat lamps that I had, one for the goats and one on the plumbing for the rainwater catchment system barrel, okay? They weren't working. Now, I do know of a way to provide heat in a enclosed space, okay, insulating enclosed space for plumbing. However, I jury-rigged a system, and I would not have felt comfortable using that to provide heat for the water. So my water froze for the horses, okay? Well, that's not too big. Wood stove has been burning for 3 solid months now. Yeah, bees are starting to peek out and cardinal males are singing their maize calls. Spring is just wonderful news. Wonderful news. Definitely looking forward to spring. Well, the horses, I wasn't worried about them because they had access to the creek. And I know that both of them, Deez is an Icelandic, and Honey's smart enough. I've seen her break ice before. If they need water, they'll get it. Okay, so they had access to water. The chickens and the ducks, I just ended up just letting them loose. They could eat the snow. I know it's not ideal, but we were just talking about a week's worth of time, and I knew the warm-up was coming. Okay, so I figured if I have the water, I'll give it to the chickens. Okay, and the ducks, the ducks found a crawfish hole. Okay, and I don't know if you know, crawfish they dig holes in the ground. Okay, well, I had this one spot on the hill that the barn is on, and stay well and may your year be filled with joy and friendship. Thank you. Be friendly, April Harry. Thank you. So anyway, the ducks found the crayfish hole, and there was 2 of them side by side. Well, there was water, unfrozen water in those holes, and that's where they've been going and getting their water. They knew it was there, so I would put them up at night, okay, and then first thing in the morning, as soon as daylight hits, I was letting them out, and they would go over there and they'd get their water. So they were good. I just didn't have a way of getting that water out of the hole for them, okay, but they knew where it was, and they did it. Okay, so that's the ducks. The chickens were pecking around. They knew where there was water. Okay, so they were okay. The goats. Okay, I've not seen the goats yet go to the creek. They may or may not have. I don't know. I tried letting them out a couple times, but they had the babies. Yeah. There's another video coming out. I was unable to edit it this week because there was no power. But there will be another video coming out. And you'll see we had another edition. Anyway, So they had the babies, and they couldn't. Didn't want them to end up down by the creek because they're still little and it's cold. It's freezing. So maybe they would have been all right. I don't know. So I didn't want to let the babies out, and they just weren't real good at following mama just yet. They were okay, in small spaces, but so what I ended up doing for the goats was melting snow and ice on the kerosene heater. So you do what you got to do. It did not give me a lot of water, but I was mainly concerned for my nursing mothers. They need that water. So that's what I was doing, and it took me a while to melt enough, just a couple of gallons of water for them. So I figured so long as the mothers got, and they were the ones that ended up getting the water first. Okay. The mothers they made a beeline for it. They got their water first, and then everybody else got what they needed, when the mothers were done drinking. So long as the mothers had their water, that was my main concern. And then all the other goats, yes, they need the water for the rumen to work properly, but what can I say? Now, for heat, because it was so cold and I was worried about the babies, I did put a tarp up over the doorway of the goat barn. So that kept any kind of cold wind from getting in there. Okay. They could still come and go, but it helped to block some of the wind. I made sure they had plenty of hay, straw, on the ground. Okay. And I did get one bunk bed made. So I got straw, and there's a local store here that has straw. I got a couple more bales of straw. I got them in there. I left one bale intact, just kind of for something, for one of them to get up off the ground if they wanted to. But it's been well covered with straw. There was so that's 3 total bales that I scattered around inside that barn. And because it was so cold, I said I had the propane lantern. Well, that lantern does give off heat. Now, the heat lamp, I had it high enough so that no goat could bump it. Well, I rigged it up. I had a chain that I hung the propane lantern from, and I had one of those heat reflector shields from one of my heat lamps that died. Okay. And so I used that over top of the propane lantern with the chain going up through it and hanging that. Tractor Supply was without power here. Oh, really? Wow. I checked on the on my phone the map of the outages, and it looked to me like the business sector of the town we go to, it looked like they had power. So I took a chance that Tractor Supply and Walmart would have power, and they did, thankfully. So I hung the lantern there, and I didn't have it on full power because I wanted it to last most of the night. But I had it on about half power. Okay, and I'm hoping that it gave them some comfort, a little, raise the temperature up a few degrees. Plus, with all the goat bodies in there, that would have helped too. So, I did what I could with what I had to work with. Now, what did I learn? I learned that my little kerosene heater is not adequate for any kind of a serious freeze. Definitely learned that. I thought, I got my kerosene heater, we're good. No, we were cold. Even with we had sweaters and we were wrapped up in blankets and whatnot. And my hands were so cold, I couldn't do anything. So, but next year, okay, I'm hoping, I still don't know if this is going to work or not, because money issues. The price of building materials have skyrocketed. So this is why I'm not sure if it will work or not. But the plans were to build a back room on at the back of the cabin and hopefully be able to put a wood stove in there. So that would give us an additional heat source. Like I said, I don't know if that will fly this year or not. And that is because of the cost of building materials. We probably would have been able to do it if it hadn't been for that drastic increase. Walmart here. So if we can't get the building, the back room built, like I've got windows for it. But if we can't get that built, then by this time, by next winter, I will buy a larger kerosene heater to have on hand. We don't need to use it for most days. I had it on this morning, and then the sun came around and was beating on the westerly side of the cabin, and it warms things up real well when it's sunny. And so, we don't need a big one. Normally, a big one is too much for around here. But if we get a deep freeze and we have no power, that little kerosene heater just does not cut it. So if we can't do the building, I will at the very least get another larger kerosene heater. We now have 3 cans that we can stock up on kerosene. So we don't have to make as many trips. I don't like relying just on kerosene and just on electric. The more ways you have of heating and cooking, the better. Now, I've got a camp stove around here somewhere. Don't ask me where it is. I don't know if it's somewhere here in the stack of boxes or if it's out in the barn. I'm not sure. Don't remember where it got put. But we do have a propane camp stove if necessary. I just didn't know where it was. I wasn't prepared. This is still a construction zone. It's like when you're under construction, you just don't know where things are half the time. Another option is to install the propane wall heaters. You can get propane. But still, if you have to buy propane, you have to buy kerosene. Wood, I've got wood around me. I may have to cut it, but I've got wood, and it will burn. There's lots of deadfall around me that I could go and get. It would mean hoofing it because I don't have a 4-wheeler yet. But so long as I can, make it without falling on my butt, breaking a leg or anything, like I said, there's deadfall around here, and I can start stashing some wood, so that if we need it, we'll have it. There are places around here that they cut firewood, so we could get a stockpile of firewood. And it's just, there's ways to be prepared. And if you only have one way of heating your home, then you have no way. If you have 2 ways, then you have 1 way. You've heard that scenario with some other preppers, 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is 2. And ideally, you probably want to have at least 3 different ways of heating your home. And a wood stove is a great way. You don't have to totally rely on it, but if you have at least that, at least, you can get wood into it. The propane is a good thing too, because it burns fairly clean. You can have it delivered. It's not cheap, but it is an option. So there's ways of doing it. But yeah, I did learn. And I also learned that when I do hopefully this summer we'll have running water. Code around here is 2 foot buried line. I don't think I'm going to rely on 2 feet. I think I'm going to go deeper. I think I'm going to go at least 3 feet. And hopefully that will be good enough. There will be a building built around my plumbing for the rainwater catchment system. And you can keep that kind of space warm with a you get a kerosene lantern, okay, and you put instead of using a glass globe, you use a can, like one of those chunky Campbell soup cans, okay, that's a nice size. It should fit on there. Poke some holes in it, make sure there's a vent at the top for the smoke to escape, and that will give you enough heat to keep it above freezing. And I think that if I used a smaller wick than what is required on a larger lantern, that it would help the kerosene to last a little bit longer. So it's just an option, okay. But that is one. Hold on one second. It's taking longer than I thought. Sorry about that. Stink bugs are starting to come out of the woodwork. Actually, I don't know where they're coming from, whether it's literally the woodwork or if they're coming from someplace else, but they're starting to appear. So, didn't see any when it was cold. But yeah, they're like around. So every time I see them, I got a bottle, I collect them in the bottle, and they killing them. Trying to. And that one was heading for my sock drawer. So I'm sorry. I didn't want a stink bug in my sock drawer. Anyway. So I am probably going to knock off early. Because it is beautiful outside. It's warmed up a lot. It's melting. And I do have to take care of some chores that I couldn't do before. I got a whole lot of things. It's 30 here in the sun. Oh my, really? I think it's supposed to be like 49 or 50 out there. Of course, if the sun is beating on that side of the house, it's probably warmer than that. So I am going to try and get something done today other than just giving the animals hay and water. Going to try to. We do have this coming week. It's supposed to be fairly mild. They are talking rain overnight and into tomorrow morning, and they're also talking rain last time I checked on Thursday. So I'm going to lose that. We really don't need the rain. We got enough, but I need to take measurements for the, I had to go to Ashland, Kentucky, still couldn't buy propane or kerosene. Glad your animals are okay, Mother. Yeah, that was my main concern. Yes, all the animals are good. The babies are good. We're good. Hopefully, within the next month, the goats will have an automatic watering system. I've got the watering system that was sent to me. I'm sorry, I forget who it was that sent it to me. I'd have to go back and check my records. I should have marked it in a marker on the water, the green plastic water. Anyway, I'm going to put that inside the barn, and they're going to have. I got gutters for the goat barn, and I just got to finish getting the plumbing, so I can hook it up. I got to take measurements for the where the barrels are going to go. It's going to collect into 2 barrels that will feed the waterer. Okay, it'll be a gravity-fed system, so that's going to get done, and I want to be able to expand their pen. I got fencing things to take care of. I also needed the temporary goat shelter that I had before. That's going to get turned into a chicken coop. Got to take measurements for that. And somewhere along the line, I still have to do raised beds for the garden, and I still have the cabin to work on. So it's an ongoing thing. Busy, busy, busy. But now that we're not frozen anymore, maybe I can get something done. Well, hopefully y'all stay safe. The stove would be nice. I know. I'm hoping and praying that I can do it. I don't know. There will be some kids being sold this year. They're not all born yet, so I still don't know. Probably all of Daisy's kids will get sold, but that's their dairy. So hopefully I can sell them locally. And that's different, a completely different market than what my Kikos are. So hopefully between that and egg sales and chicken sales, hopefully I have a little bit more money coming in, and that'll help to pay for everything it's going on here with fencing and whatnot. I'm still waiting on my soil sample to come back, so I can get reimbursed for the rainwater catchment system. I'm just waiting on that. It's been over a month and I still haven't got it yet. So, well, thank you for stopping by, everybody. And I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate the thumbs up. And hopefully y'all are staying warm and taking care of yourselves. I know this has been crazy weather. Cheryl, hopefully the weather's not too bad for you tonight. I don't know how long the system's supposed to be around for, but spring is coming, everybody. Spring is coming, okay? So just hang in there, all right? I will talk to you later, everybody. Have a good one.